Hey guys, welcome back to the channel McNallie Money, your home of all things stock, investment, and personal finance related. In today's video, we're going to be providing coverage on a very interesting fashion brand involved in the outdoor, activewear, ski, snowboard culture. The company name is Perfect Moment Ltd, and I'm very excited to talk about this one for a number of reasons we're going to get into in today's video. Before we do though, take a second, smash the like button guys, big help to myself and the channel. If you're not already subscribed, McNallie Money, feel free to join and let us know in the comment section below if you've ever heard of Perfect Moment before, if you've used any of their products, and your outlook on the fashion sector in 2025. Now with that being said, let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so that's right. Today's video, we're going to be covering Perfect Moment Ltd, trades under the ticker symbol PMNT on the New York Stock Exchange American or NYSE American. Very strong day. This is as of Wednesday, March 19th, up 17 cents or just north of 14% to close out the day at $1.37 per share. Perfect Moment, as I mentioned in the intro, is in the business of redefining luxury ski wear with high-performance designs that blend technical excellence and fashion together. Now, the story gets better from here. If you look at a 5-day view, up a respectable 46% over the last week's worth of trading, 52% over the last month, and a year-to-date return of 37% despite the macroeconomic headwinds we're seeing and the major drawdowns really in multiple sectors across the investment space. Now, because this is the first time covering Perfect Moment on the channel, we're going to jump over to the website, perfectmoment.com, talk about some of the recent press releases, their most recent earnings, and look at the products themselves, and then finish off with a few of the big catalysts that have recently occurred for the Perfect Moment brand. Now, the company itself, again, is focused on high-end outerwear or skiwear. Founded back in 1984 in the mountains of Chamois, Perfect Moment is a high-performance luxury skiwear and lifestyle brand that fuses technical excellence with fashion-led designs, resulting in pieces that transition effortlessly from the slopes to the city, the beaches, and back again. So the vision for the company actually came together in the mind of an extreme sports filmmaker and professional skier by the name of Terry Donard. And in 2010, a British-Swiss entrepreneurial couple, Jane and Max Gottschalk, took ownership of the brand. And this is really the point at which the Perfect Moment brand itself was injected with a new style focus that reignited the spirit of the heritage brand, but committed to improving the fit, performance, and the use of this best-in-class functional material. Now, we'll talk about some of their high-end collaborations in a second here, but I did want to mention on the operational front, they've opened now their first US-based warehouse and distribution center in Dallas, Texas. This is in partnership with Quiet Platforms, a leading provider of fulfillment centers and last-mile delivery solutions. In terms of stores, you can see a number of storefronts here, with their first one actually opening in New York Soho District in October, which was a great opportunity to showcase their new autumn-winter collection or lineup, which has subsequently been followed with their first European seasonal store, which interestingly enough is located in a ski resort in the Austrian Alps known for its world-class skiing. Now, they also have a strong following across social media. You can see their X account here, Perfect Moment _. However, they truly shine on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, where they've reached over 408,000 followers, up 19.2% from the same year-ago quarter, and making this actually one of the world's most followed fashion brands. And as you can see here, some very high-profile content providers, in excess of 90 million followers, posting about the brand and their main collaboration or partnership announcement with Johnny Walker, which we'll come on to a little bit later. So in terms of the actual products themselves, you can see here the men's ski jacket. I've actually got one of these in my personal repertoire. I'm a big snowboarder up here in Canada, and I can tell you these jackets definitely turn heads. You can see a variety of looks and feels with premium quality and products used in each and every one of these outfits. And if you click on any one of these individual jackets, you can see a number of benefits, including obviously warmth, water repellent down, and water repellent fabrics, in addition to their 4-way stretch fabric technology. Now, for anyone who spends time out in the mountains or doing backcountry activity, you can see 700 fill power down insulation, really ensuring maximum warmth without compromising on comfort, plus a number of benefits that, again, skiers or snowboarders would appreciate, like helmet compatible hoods, multiple front zip pockets, a ski pass pocket, and internal goggle pockets and cloth cleaner to de-ice or defog your goggles. Now, they then go on to talk about the actual materials used in the products themselves. You can see very high end, whether you're talking about the shell, lining, or insulation. And then your standard fashion website drop downs like delivery, return policy, and your size and fit guide. Now, ski suits are obviously another big thing on the après-ski scene. Women's ski suits, again, on the website, a variety of looks, designs, colors, and styles. Plus some really cool kids ski wear, including undergarments and what's known as knitwear. So really appealing to the entire family or anyone involved in these type of sports. So now that we have a general understanding for the company, its vision and product lineup, I mentioned earlier that they've had a very successful Q3 or financial reporting period. And a couple highlight numbers here, you guys, worth noting. Total net revenue up 204% from the previous quarter to $11.7 million. However, a decline of 8% from the same year ago quarter. Now, this subsequential increase was primarily due to the seasonal factors, with the decline from the prior year largely due to a decrease in collaboration revenue, which was partly offset by increased retail revenue, which was positive to see. And they note the conclusion of their 2-year Hugo Boss collaboration, which ended in 2024. However, their e-commerce gross revenue increased 7% up to $5.4 million. And gross margins improving 273 basis points to 54.8%, up from 52.1% in the same year ago quarter. Now, they then go on to talk about some of those operational highlights, including the opening of that first US-based warehouse, their first retail store in New York's Soho district, which I actually just visited last week when I was out there for the Bitcoin conference, and a number of new high-level partnerships outlined here. Now, I mentioned in the intro we would conclude today's video with a few key catalysts or press releases from Perfect Moment. This is the first one, entitled Perfect Moment Expands Accessories Line with Puffer, Tote Bags, and Sunglasses. This was from February 14th, and you can see the puffer bag collection being inspired by the intuitive throw in and go approach to packing of Perfect Moment's President and Chief Creative Officer, Jane Gottschalk. Again, crafted in the highest quality Italian materials and standards, Perfect Moment puffer bags perfectly balance functionality with style. With Gottschalk going on to say every detail from the lightweight padded design to the bold prints and timeless colorways has been carefully considered. For me, it's all about celebrating the ease and joy of being on the move, allowing you to focus on creating those perfect moments. So again, appealing to ski enthusiasts, the Perfect Moment puffer bag is the ultimate après-ski accessory, with the padded design complementing your winter wardrobe while keeping your essentials well protected, whether you're braving alpine adventures or retreating to the lodge, maybe after a long day of skiing. Now, where this gets exciting, Perfect Moment's new sunglass collection looks to tap into the high-growth global luxury sunglass market, which, surprising to me, was around $6.4 billion in 2024 and is expected to have a compound annual growth rate of 7.8% through till 2033. And the puffer bag collection, which is part of the expanding luxury outerwear category, is expected to be around $18 billion as of 2024, with a compound annual growth rate of 6.7%. So both categories here, impressive growth over the next 5 to 8 years, and a very complementary product to the existing Perfect Moment lineup. And here you can see an example of the puffer bags themselves. Again, the variety of different benefits of the bag and those 5 different styles they mentioned in the press release. And this is a look at the sunglass lineup, almost a retro or après-ski feel. Again, as someone who's involved in the space, I think would fit in very well at most of the resorts I frequent. Now, following that on the 26th of February, another great headline here. Perfect Moment co-founder and chairman purchases 51,000 shares of company stock in the open market. This is something we've talked about on the channel recently, filing a Form 4 for the purchase of 51,000 shares, bringing their total beneficial ownership to approximately 4.1 million shares, or 24.3% of shares outstanding. And as we've talked about on the channel extensively, this is obviously a very bullish sign when CEOs or leadership are putting their own money where their mouth is. Now, Max Gottschalk has always been a strategic investor and a global fund manager, or at least for the past 25 years. He's presently a founding partner at Ocean 14 Capital, which is a private equity fund, and back in 1998, helped to bring Godex Fund Management, a global asset manager, to the public Swiss stock exchange at a market cap or valuation of $2.2 billion. So obviously well experienced in the investment space and looking to inject even more of his own money into this company. So if we fast forward now to the 17th of March, the final press release I wanted to mention is Perfect Moment's partnership with the world's #1 Scotch whiskey brand, Johnnie Walker, and the hosting of these exclusive après-ski experiences in Japan and Utah. Now, we saw some of this imaging on the corporate website, but essentially Perfect Moment has partnered up with Johnnie Walker to bring Johnnie Walker Blue Label Ice Chalet Scotch whiskey to these après-ski events. This is a very synergistic partnership as both of these brands are going after the same target audience. And the event's marquee award-winning global film and fashion icon, Priyanka Chopra Jonas, has over 92 million followers on social media herself, really adding validity and strength to this brand partnership. Now, these type of media features have obviously worked very successfully in the past and represents a huge opportunity for Perfect Moment moving forward, with Diageo being a global leader in the beverage alcohol space with some household brands including Johnnie Walker, Crown Royal, J&B, Buchanan's, Smirnoff, Ciroc Vodkas, Captain Morgan, Bailey's, Don Julio, Tanqueray, and even Guinness. And here on the website, you can see some additional details about these collaborations, including the most recent one with Johnnie Walker, and the ability to actually purchase the outfit or pieces that are worn in the promotional shoot. So for those reasons, you guys, I definitely recommend you take a look at Perfect Moment if you're looking for exposure to this type of sector in your portfolio. A very interesting high-end luxury brand, appealing to individuals in the ski and snowboard space, but really with the potential to be worn in so many different situations. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if you've ever seen or worn any of these items and your outlook on the sector as a whole. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Feel free to subscribe, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.